How about we take a look today at a wasp from Beast Wars who's not Waspinator? Enter Legacy Buzzsaw. No, he's not the little bird that turned into a cassette for Soundwave. He's his own man, his own mysterious man. And he's going to be our focus this time around in the latest GotBot True review. Hey one, hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, I'm a baby. Hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton. It lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of those links, man, in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you are in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through Spring, or of course you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. And this is the new Legacy Buzzsaw. It's part of a 3-pack, really, I suppose you could say, or a wave of 3. That are more fringe Beast Wars characters that I believe are exclusive to Walmart. I could be wrong about that. If I am, I apologize. But I think they are. And, like, it comprises, for example, a reuse of the Cheetor mold. I don't remember the guy's name. Snow Panther or something. I don't know what his name is. It comprises a reuse of the Scorponok mold as G2 Sandstorm, as Beast War Sandstorm, pardon me, and this guy. And a while ago, I looked at the Kingdom Waspinator, and I thought it was okay. There was something off about it to me in terms of the silhouette of the character. I thought the purple was a little too deep. I wasn't, it's good. Don't get me wrong. It's very good. Me having my thrilling 30, I was on the fence. I think either one is good. I think they're both great for different reasons. But I did not have any iteration of Beast Wars Buzzsaw. So I was a bit stoked to get this guy. Did he live up to my expectations? Is he as good as I hoped for? Is he as good or better than the Waspinator reuse? Or, sorry, the Waspinator use? Well, we're about to find out when we head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And yes, indeed, today, thanks to our buddy Ultra Megatronus, we're taking a look at the repaint of the Kingdom Waspinator. This, of course, is Beast Wars Buzzsaw. I believe he's a Walmart exclusive, and he is the greatest, most mysterious coward going. The guy, according to, what little fiction there is of him, really, likes to attack from a distance, has a lot of bravado, but in truth, the real secret is that he's a coward and doesn't really want to get close to his opponents. No, this is not the original Buzzsaw that is one of the cassettes of Soundwave, remade into a beast. This is more akin to, say, the Seeker Skywarp is a completely different character from the Maximal Skywarp. It's just they share the same name, right? It's like two guys named Mike. They're just two different Mikes. Well, this is two guys named Buzzsaw. They're just two different Buzzsaws. I also think that, again, I could be wrong here, but I think in the somewhat limited fiction that exists for him, if I'm not mistaken, I think he does end up actually switching sides from Predacon to Maximal. But I think that comes later, if I'm not mistaken. This version is Predacon, and I know he's Predacon just because of the packaging. Oh, what's that you say? How do I know that he's a Predacon? Well, we're about to kind of talk about that very briefly. First things first, this has a plastic window. My understanding is that this is part of a Walmart exclusive trio. This guy, the not the G2 Sandstorm, the Beast War Sandstorm, which is a reuse of the Scorponok mold. I'm not a huge fan of that mold. And the not Shadow Panther. I don't remember the other guy's name. That's the Cheetor mold. I don't like the Cheetor mold in the least, so I don't like it. However, word is, and rumor is that I've heard, that Walmart requested specifically that the plastic be incorporated in the packaging for this subset of Legacy, I suppose. I think that we're going to see the windows come back a little bit more because I've noticed it here. I've noticed it with the more recent buzzworthy Bumblebee releases. I think that you need to have a window. You got to be able to see the product. I think that Not having anything there is fine dandy, except it's leading to another problem of popping heads off, right? Like, you need the packaging plastic there. You can go green all you want. I don't think a little plastic window is going to make too much of a carbon footprint, just saying. As I was saying though, this guy is a Predacon, and even though I think he turned into a Maximal later on, this iteration is indeed Predacon. Of course, we have fairly accurate rendition of a yellow jacket wasp down there. Same here, of course, there's a close-up on his glorious face. But the artwork on this side is the Decepticon artwork. There have been two different types of artwork, Autobot and Decepticon. If you're a bad guy, you're getting the Decepticon art on the side of the box. If you're a good guy, you're getting the Autobot. So this kind of confirms that he's Predacon in this, or even Decepticon, but I'm pretty sure it's Predacon in this iteration. Of course, we have both of the images back here. I mean, it is what it is. We got some pretty great instructions. These work actually quite well, if I'm being perfectly honest. So, I mean, you know, they are what they are. And here we have our Wasp boy. 3 weeks ago, in episode 971, I took a look at the Kingdom Waspinator, and I compared him to the Generations. Both are great for different reasons. The funny part is, at their core, those guys are really like a green color at their base. This is actually more indicative of a true Yellow Jacket Wasp color. Granted, the real Yellow Jackets don't have the purple, or I really think the green, but the yellow and black combination here is pretty accurate. That being said, the legs should be yellow and the wings should be more translucent than what they are, but the wings aren't a stark black. I think they are translucent. That's been washed a lot, very deeply, with a black. Because if you hold up to the light, you can kind of see through the wings. I think it's really shockingly well done. The interesting thing about this guy is that his head is because we know the originals came out with like the mutant mask heads and then their face was underneath. Well, this is the face underneath, as where Waspinator and his animation model in Beast Wars used essentially the mutant head. So the head we know as Waspinator is really the mutant mask, and the face inside of that is really what we get here with Buzzsaw. So kind of neat, just one little remolded piece. Well, you'll notice we're starting him out here in his alt mode because we've already seen that transformation from robot to wasp. So we'll see it going back now. I like this though, it's fairly solid. Actually, it's really solid. I think the fit and finish and tolerances on this guy is a bit better than I found them even with Waspinator, if I'm being perfectly honest. Now, that being said, the Waspinator is quite good. He was an 8 or a 9 overall. Let's see how this guy actually sort of stacks up. So we'll do the transformation first. And I'm going to just start it here by bringing down those legs. They just go over a couple little rectangular tabs with a little notch right there on the leg. So we take that off, and then comes the hardest part I find, which is take off his tail thing. We got to unpeg this whole purple piece here, and I find this to be the hardest part because it does tab in very tightly on this copy and on the Waspinator copy. Turn it around so that we got it done. Then down here we can bring a foot forward and kind of straighten that back. Bring a foot forward, kind of straighten that back. Now you should leave these up, but I tend to kind of angle them down a bit. It's a little harder on Waspinator than this guy because honestly I find the bug legs, the mushroom peg is toleranced a bit better on this one than it was on the Waspinator. I'm going to stand them up so we can do the rest of the upper body a little bit easier. Alright, obviously he's about as elongated here as you can possibly get. I'm going to get the wings here out of the way. I'm going to make sure that this is back because it's in like this. So you want to make sure that is back, and then we can even kind of collapse this up. Makes them a bit shorter. We're going to take this arm, bring it out to the side, this arm, and bring it out to the side. We're going to rotate the arm at the bicep and kind of bring the elbow forward. Turn the wrist. We're going to, again, rotate the arm, turn the wrist. How do I know which way to rotate the arm? Because I want these bug legs on the outside of the arm, not the inside of the arm, so it's fairly self-explanatory. Then we get to the most interesting part of this guy, which is the way the chest works. We unpeg the whole thing. There are two tabs back here that need to go into two slots back here. Otherwise, in robot mode, the chest is completely loose. I kind of had that problem with Waspinator. They don't want to kind of tab in as well on Waspinator as they do on this guy. So it's not a deal breaker, but it's something you want to make sure that you get the 2 tabs that are back here into the slots up here as you kind of collapse the torso in. There's a hinge down here that sort of collapses the torso in like that. So we take that, and I should be able to pop off his head. That's another thing I find with this mold. The head does like to pop off before I can tab those pieces in. Not a deal breaker, but a nuisance. We take the head and we split it, and we bring it all the way in. Obviously, I got to put the head on, and I got to solidify the waist up. This is almost him in his robot mode. I got to put that head back on, and I got to make sure that these 2 rectangular pieces are tabbed into the back. And there you go. With the head popped back on, we have the 2 lads next to each other, and they're good. They're great, but coming in at 63 grams is pretty light for a deluxe in my estimation. I gotta say, do they have enough added value in order to kind of make up for that about 20 grams loss of plastic compared to what, you know, a typical deluxe has always traditionally been? Maybe, because there is a lot of paint here. For example, on both of them, the entire wasp head is painted. I guess I haven't really looked, but I assume that they're both molded in the purple or the green translucent. There are paint apps on the 2 shoulders, on the biceps. The whole head has paint apps, so maybe. I still feel like 63 is a little bit light. I like them though. I do find the tolerances and the fit and finish on the Buzzsaw is a little bit better than on the Waspinator. On the Waspinator, I find the antenna move if I just nudge them, and I find that the head likes to slip together, and I don't need to put much force on it to do that. This guy's wasp head tends to stay apart. So, you know, there they are together. I'm going to take this guy out of it. He's quite good, but we, of course, want to focus on the articulation on this guy. Don't forget, our paint apps we're saying are a 10, because why not? The transformation is about an 8, and I think that's what I said for Waspinator, about an 8. So right now the guy's getting a 9. Let's see what that articulation is like for him. The head goes left, it goes right, it goes up and down because it's on a ball joint. Arm can go all the way around, out to the side, bicep swivel, elbow to 90 degrees, wrist swivel. And the bug leg, I guess, can move. I find the bug legs on this guy are tolerance better, like the mushroom pegs are tolerance better than they are on the Waspinator. Because the chest feels better, these antennae, though they can move, they don't move as easily when I just knock them. The head doesn't come together as easily. You can get the wings still up and out of the way, however it is you want to do it. The waist moves, and because the chest and the antenna are tolerance better than they are on Waspinator, I find the waist feels better. So I guess people who have a better copy of Waspinator than me probably feel he's a little more solid than me. The legs, they can go all the way out to the side, they can go all the way forward, they can go back as much as his stinger butt will allow. Thigh swivel, built inside the thigh with a nice mushroom peg. 90 degrees at the knee. I'm going to tell you now, the knee on this guy is tight, man, real tight. Ankle tilt to the side, the toe can go forward, the heel can go forward, and of course the other bug legs here, they can also move however you would like them to move. Naturally, he holds his stinger blaster in his hand, or of course it can peg in back there. I guess for articulation for deluxe, there's not much more I could ask for, to be honest with you. I'm going to have to give it a 10. Overall, the guy's a 9.2, 9.5. He is quite good. So is the Waspinator. I feel like if you live in Canada, $40 for this guy, taxes in, roughly, is too much. I feel like score 'em on sale. If you live in the US, I don't know what the going price is down there now. I've heard 25 for deluxe. I feel like 20 for this guy is about the right ballpark. He's excellent. But being as slight as he is, even with the kind of little bit extra bells and whistles, I feel like he might be like just a couple of dollars overpriced, you know? Not egregious. If you've been on the fence and you're wondering, should I get this guy? Yeah, he's really terrific and he looks beautiful. I love the fade on the legs, for example. I just think that you might want to make sure that you're getting him for the right price, and there is definitely a right price for him. If you're okay and you really love Buzzsaw and you're like, you know, I know that he's 40 Canadian, I know that he's 25 US, and you know what, I'm willing to bite the bullet and take it, then he is a solid offering. But if you're somebody who's a little value conscious, as solid as an offering as he is, he might be worth just waiting for at least a little sale. Take that for what you will. And here we are once again, here he is. So first things first, I think the Thrilling 30 Waspinator is tremendous. I think the Kingdom Waspinator is pretty tremendous. And I find this guy pretty tremendous. I do think the tolerances here are a little bit better, even despite the fact that I knocked his head off, which is an easy thing to put back on, luckily. Fun fact though, that was the first time I've ever popped the head off on this mold. Figures it would be on camera. I do find the mushroom pegs on the legs a little bit better on this guy. And I know the legs are supposed to be yellow, but I'm sort of glad that they're black, because I think if they were yellow like an actual Yellow Jacket's legs are, I think it would be too much yellow. I love the wings. They are definitely black, and on camera they probably look black, but when you put that like a light behind them, like right now I kind of have the light that's behind the camera here shining on them, like I can see through them, so it's like, I think they're translucent with like a super heavy black wash over them, like really heavy, but I'm okay with it. Maybe it could have been a little bit of a lighter black wash, I don't know. I'm not sure why we can see it. It's a little translucenty. Maybe it is black. Maybe it's not paint. Maybe it is black and it's just thin enough to be translucent. I don't know. The articulation is great. Again, the legs, much like with Waspinator, they can be a little cumbersome to work around, but not as much as you'd think they are. He actually moves fairly free-flowing. The transformation on this guy feels overall a little bit smoother to me, and his coloration is glorious, especially the fade of yellow to black. I think he's tremendous. I really think he's an excellent use of that Waspinator mold. And looking at the original, I feel like the eyes on Buzzsaw here, I don't know, it's almost like they match the original better. I guess that the same thing could be said for the Waspinator, but I tend to think of the animation. I think the eyes were a little bit of a different shape on the animation, and that's why the Waspinator with his bug chest sort of throws me off. I don't know. Maybe I'm just spitballing here. Maybe I'm totally wrong. But I do love the black, the yellow, the green, and the touches of purple here. I think they play off each other really well. It's a shame I got a little purpley spot on his face, a little splooch there on his face of purple, but you know, such is life. I guess it was a little bit of overspray from the paint. I like them. I'm happy with them. I do think in Canada that, you know, for 40 bucks, taxes in, I think it's a little overpriced, honestly. I feel like, let's say before taxes, he's $35.99 in Canada. Let's say before taxes, he's $25.99 in the US. I feel like a better price for this guy is 30 Canadian and 20 US, you know? Maybe even 25 Canadian, 20 US. He's excellent. He really is. He's not a necessary character. If you can get him, get him. If you can get him on sale, all the better. Let me know what you think about Beast Wars Buzzsaw. I appreciate you guys coming by and giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through Spring. Or of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, stick around and have some fun with us, and know that somehow, some way, each and every single solitary day, you right there, you do make a difference. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, or the old fashioned way right here, baby, inside the videos.